Hello and welcome to the Z Hut. Today I would like to show you how you can make a tablet holder out of PVC pipe that you can mount either on a light stand like I'm using or a tripod. Now for the light stand, the PVC pipe I'm using, the 1/2 inch, fits right over the coupler. Makes it, it just fits right on. But if you are using a tripod, the only difference is, let me pull the tablet out. As you can see, it goes right in and out. There is a spring up here that holds it once you put it in, and then it just simply, you lift it up and it pops out. But if you wanted to put this on a tripod, the only thing you'd need to do is put an end cap on here and then drill it and tap it for the size of your tripod. Otherwise, you can also take your tripod apart and run a bolt through to the end cap and stick it on there. Either way will work. How you mount this and what you mount it on is up to you. I'm just going to show you today how to build the holder itself. So let me move the camera in here a little closer to the workbench and let's take a look at how to build this. Alright, to build this, we only need a few parts and just a couple of tools. So what we need to start with, you need some 1/2 inch PVC pipe. You are also going to need 6 elbows, and you are going to need 3 T's. Whoops. And also you're going to need one little spring. If you can see that right there, it's just a little, it doesn't have to have a lot of strength to it, but you could, if you don't have one, not put it in, but the nice thing I put the spring in there for is so if you accidentally go and turn this, the tablet doesn't just fall right out. You have to actually put a little pressure to get it out. Not enough where you're going to break anything. All right, and then for tools, you're going to need a ruler or a tape measure, but a ruler, I mean, unless you're using like a 10-inch tablet, you might need a tape measure instead of a ruler. Then you're going to need a way to cut the PVC pipe. I just got one of these little miter boxes and wood saw. Works perfect. You can actually use a pipe cutter made for copper pipe for cutting this as well. It doesn't work as good, but it will work. Or you can use a hacksaw. I like to use the miter box because all your cuts come out straight and it makes it easier to put this together. Now the only other tool you're going to need is a rotary tool or a drill with a cutoff wheel. You can use a cordless drill. The cutoff wheel is just going to take longer because a Dremel tool is the best option for this. Trust me, a Dremel. Because what you got to do is we got our 2 pieces of 1/2 inch PVC pipe here, and then what I've done is I've slotted them. Get that there so you can see. I slotted it just wide enough so the tablet fits in, and it doesn't have much wiggle room, just a teeny tiny bit. I did the same thing on the top side where we got the spring, and then you keep those 2 pieces that you cut out and you glue them into the bottom one on the inside. I just used hot glue, but you could use anything, epoxy, whatever. And the reason we do that is because, let me grab the tablet here, if you don't do that, when the tablet would sit in there, pop it in there. If I didn't put those spacers down there, the tablet would sit down inside of the pipe so far that you couldn't hit your buttons on the screen. These buttons here, the back and close. So you are going to want to save those 2 pieces you cut off and put them in there. If you mess up when you're cutting them out and they break up and stuff, you could use something else and there's a spacer. Just use your imagination. But the easiest thing to do is just save the 2 pieces you cut out and simply hot glue gun them or super glue them, epoxy, whatever you have. Now let me pop the tablet back out. I'll show you the back side here. This is the mount. Now I'm using a light stand for like my studio lights, and this 1/2 inch pipe fits right on there perfect, so I don't have to do anything. If you want to use this on a tripod, you just get an end cap and you drill it and tap it to the size of whatever your tripod, your bolt on there is. Otherwise, like I said too, you can take just, if you were going to dedicate some old junky tripod to this, you could just take that out and just run a bolt straight through into the end cap and then put a bolt on the, or nut on the inside, and then you'd simply just put that on there when you want to use it. Don't glue that on unless you permanently want it there. Now, another thing is all of this you're going to want to glue. The only thing you don't want to glue is this fitting right here, and of course your tripod mount, because this will allow you to be able to turn it, to angle it, so you can get different angles. So don't glue that. Now, I haven't glued the rest of this yet, but I will be, because I am planning on keeping this. I'm not going to take it back apart. I actually am using this with my tablet as a teleprompter for doing these videos. I've been wanting to set something up for a long time. That's going to work great. I was also thinking of putting another one of these together because I have another old tablet, and use that as a monitor for my camera so I can see. It'll be a bigger screen. It's not my camera, it's just this little tiny screen. I'm looking at it right now. If at any distance it's hard to see, but with a tablet, you know, if I've got the camera back a ways, I can see that everything is showing up on the camera. All right, with that, I'm just using one of these small tablets. I forget what this 7-inch or whatever these are. Actually, I guess I got a ruler right here. Yeah, it's a 7-inch tablet. I did have to do a modification to these two T's here. They were too long. Otherwise, it wouldn't have fit. So what I did is I took and used my miter box and saw, and I cut a 1/4 inch off each side on these two T's here. And that made it so when I put it together, it was now narrow enough that it would hold this. But if you're using a 10-inch tablet, you're not going to have that problem. No problem at all. Oh, another thing too, when you notch this out, just notch it with like extra, like a 1/16 of an inch on each side, because you don't want it to flop a lot, but you want to have just a tiny bit of play in there so you're not pushing it in really hard, super tight fit. With that, now having these cut down a little bit, it's no real big deal. There's still plenty in there because the pipe actually, you put it in there, the little pieces. I can actually pull this apart because I haven't glued it yet. I will be. You can see that's our little connector pieces. Now, if you're making this is an RCA, a 7-inch RCA. I will, on the website, I will drop a schematic that shows the exact dimensions if you are building this for a 7-inch tablet, so that you don't have to figure out the measurements yourself. Just go to the website, look in the description below, and you'll find a link that'll take you to this project's webpage. And I'll drop a schematic, the plans on how all the different sizes. So if you're using a 7-inch tablet, and I'm pretty sure any of these, they're going to be close enough in size. They're all going to fit. Just double check. But this is an RCA. And these are real common. They're very inexpensive. That's why I like them. If I accidentally drop it and break it, and I'm only out $45, $50. These are not very expensive at all. But yeah, you can build these for your 10-inch tablets. You can make them for your iPads. Whatever you want to build it for. I mean, you can see the basics of it and how it works. And like I said on the website, I'll have all the measurements for the 7-inch. So just go there and check it out. And in the spring, like I said, you don't need anything real super heavy. I don't think a spring out of a pin would work. That'd be a little too small. I just actually had a little container that has a bunch of various springs in it. I ran across it in unclaimed freight a couple years ago, so I have an assortment of springs on hand. But with that, all I have left to do is to glue this together myself. And then I'm going to sand it down and paint it. But it's winter right now, so I probably won't paint it until spring. That's a couple months down the road, but for what I'm using it for right now, perfectly fine. I mean, if you want to paint it, it's up to you. You don't have to. All right, I think we went over everything on how to build this. Oh, another thing, you could make one, and you know, it'd be narrower. You can make a narrower one and use hold your cell phone. You could use that if you wanted to mount it on a tripod or a light stand. You just simply make it narrower. Works the same design principles as this. You just make it narrower to fit your phone. All right, well, with that, I would like to thank you for joining us here at the Z-Hut today. If you found this information useful, please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it big time. I really would. So with that, I guess we'll just say I hope you have a great day. And remember, have fun building.